Hello Otters, Kai the Otter here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new series, Genwunners, Are They Right? In this series, we're going to be looking at different arguments that Genwunners make to why the first generation of Pokémon is the only really good generation of Pokémon. I don't agree with them, but I'm willing to listen to their arguments and find out if they're right. For the first season of this series, we're going to be looking at the designs of Pokémon. A couple of months ago, I found this page where Genwunners have made their arguments that the designs of Pokemon have gone downhill and become less quality since the first generation of Pokemon. And I realized they actually have some good arguments with the examples they give. I thought it would be interesting to get one or more people that are not interested in Pokemon to look at Pokemon and rate them on the categories that are listed on this page. So that is exactly what I've done. I'm having people that have not played a Pokemon game, so people that are neutral to the topic, that aren't biased towards Generation 1 or newer Pokemon, to look at the anatomy of Pokemon, the coloring of Pokemon, and the details of those Pokemon, to check and see if they are detailed and realistic in their anatomy or simple and toy-like. Simple and have well-blended colors, or if the colors are complicated and there's just a lot of different colors and they're very plastic and non-blended. Or then finally, if their details are focused on the physical features, on just sparkly colors and popping in that way. And we're going to look at, in each video, a Pokemon from Generation 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and maybe eventually 7. Being on the Genwunner end in any category will award that Pokemon a score of 1, for a perfect score being a score of 3, and a failed score being a score of 0. This is going to be the tally page where we'll put the totals, but our Generation 6 Pokemon is Aromatisse, the Fragrance Pokemon, number 683. I had my mom, an unbiased party who doesn't really know much about Pokemon at all, tell me what she thought the anatomy of Aromatisse was and these other Pokemon, and she said this one didn't look super detailed in its anatomy or realistic, but also didn't look super simple. She said it was right in the middle, it was mixed. Its coloring, though, she said, thought looked very simple and blended very nicely, but its physical features and the details there were not in the physical features, but were in its colorfulness, giving Aromatisse a score of 1.5. Our next Pokemon is our Generation 5 candidate, Woobat. Woobat is a bat Pokemon, number 527, and is considered to be simple and toy-like, have complex and plastic coloring, as well as details focused purely on different colors and not on its physical features, giving Woobat the very first goose egg of this series and the score of 0. Our Generation 4 Pokemon is Chatot. Chatot is the music note Pokemon, number 441, and his anatomy is considered to be mixed, right on the line between being very detailed and realistic in its anatomy and being simple and toy-like in its anatomy. Its coloring is complex and plastic, with not very much blending, whereas its details is that there's a good balance between having detailed physical features and detailed coloring, and coloring used to put detail into Chatot, giving him a score of 1 from half a point in anatomy and half a point in its details. Our Generation 3 Pokemon is Nuzleaf, the wily Pokemon, number 274. Nuzleaf's anatomy is considered to be simple and toy-like, whereas its coloring is on the other end of the spectrum, giving it a full point, and is considered to be simple and blended. Then, lastly, the details of this wily guy are balanced between having detail in the physical feature and detail in the colorfulness. Though a note was made about Nuzleaf that it doesn't really have much color detail or many physical feature details, and so that was just really the only fair score to give it. Our Generation 2 candidate is Donphan this week, the armor Pokemon, number 232. The anatomy of Donphan was considered to be simple and toy-like, where its coloring was considered to be right in the middle between being really simple and blended, as opposed to complex or plastic looking. The Details of Donphan were also considered to be a balance between color details and physical feature details, giving Donphan another half point of 1. And finally, our Genwunner representative, Butterfree, the butterfly Pokemon number 12. Butterfree is considered by our unbiased party to be detailed and realistic in its anatomy. Its coloring is a balance between simple and blended and complex and plastic. I would guess because it does look fairly plastic and non-blended in its coloring, but its coloring is also fairly simple. And its details are in its physical features, giving Butterfree actually the highest score of this video, 2.5. Now let's tally these up on our tally page, and we have that the only generation to get a score above 1 is our Generation 1 Pokemon. So, if we only use these 6 Pokemon to decide if Genwunners are right, they might be. But we'll find out more next week when we look at record number 2. We'll have another set of 6 randomly chosen Pokemon to evaluate and add to our data set. If that video is already made, you can hit the record number listed in the upper left-hand corner, record number 2, and you'll be sent right to that video. But if you want to learn more about me and a little bit more about this channel, click on that cute little otter. And lastly, on the right side of the screen, you see the logo for my Pokemon Coliseum randomized pair lock. You can click that to jump right into a very fun playthrough of Pokemon Coliseum. Thank you again for watching this video. If you've liked this series and you want to see more of it, hit the like button and share it. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I'm excited to go through and find out if Genwunners are right. Right now it's looking like they are, but I'm confident that Pokemon from all generations have quality designs. But for now, play hard and train on.